Hello friends, or hello friends. I actually may have said that while it wasn't recording yet. Welcome to channel Raise a Blade. I'm your friendly neighborhood Reza. For today we have February's Mani by Me box. It's called Floral Kaleidoscope. Very cute. When I got this box, my head actually exploded. Okay, maybe not actually exploded, but it figuratively exploded with dozens and dozens of ideas. And so this particular video is brought to you by hashtag can't stop won't stop. I have a lot to show you today. On my channel, Raise a Blade, I make nail art product review videos, technical tutorials, I teach tips and tricks and more. What I hope is that every video of my new watch you'll learn a little something or find inspiration, at least a little. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and please comment to tell me what you liked or what questions you have. And of course, please subscribe and click that bell to get notified about my new videos. Included in this box are two polishes. Maniology's stamping polishes are designed, well, their polishes are designed for stamping unless they specify otherwise. These are Zinnia. They can be used as base coats, but I don't like that longevity on me, so it's not what I use them for. Zinnia and Primrose. Not a big fan of the yellow. The finish was bad on my swatches. I tried a few swatches and it took me 3 coats to get what I wanted over here, so just not a fan of that. And then the pink was a little bit better, but I mean not by much. I'm not, anyway, I like not to say anything bad, but I wasn't, I mean, stamping polishes is stamping polishes, they're great. So I'll show you that in just a little bit. The other thing that's included in this box, every month they have an extra. This month's extra is 6 disposable 180 grit nail files, and I have to tell you I'm really disappointed in that. Just getting something that's designed for a future landfill. So this month's extra gets 2 thumbs down from this reviewer. I love my glass file, which has lasted ages and ages. No need to throw it away, at least not yet. So if you have extra, if you hate extra refuse, consider that. Also, what else? This is MXM073. The other plate is MXM074. I always do a couple of manis for you, and then I do paper swatches to show you how these plates stamp, which is always great because they're Maniology. And then this is where I went a little crazy this month. I really have to probably maybe standardize what I do, because it looks like I've done 8 thumbnails. I did 2 for the littles, because this, if you have littles or mini people that you have made or inherited or chosen for yourself, for your family, these plates are really great for that, and I'll show you how in a minute. There are layering elements. These plates have a lot of great detail. And then for my Mani on this side, I used some other Mani by Me plates to make that look with the moon, flower moon, and the French tips. So while I show you the paper swatches, I'm going to talk to you about kaleidoscope art. Now, whoops, sorry, my notes are falling away. Kaleidoscope means Greek view beautiful shapes, observe moving shapes or images. If you look really closely here, you can see all of the very ornate, tiny detail shapes there are. You can use all of these implements or components or art elements individually. So you can take this little four-sided circle with 4 knots for points, whatever, and with the rose inside, you can make a little decal out of that, or reverse stamp with the rose colored in something, and then the actual badge colored in something. It's just, I really love these. Lots of great different things you can stamp for French tip kind of things. Not just the look that I made with this one, where I used the moon, the flower moon, to make the shape of the French tip. But you can also actually do some stuff on French tips. And you'll see that with my actual swatch stick swatches a little later on. You can color all of these elements in, or you can do them as is. One of the Maniology artists in the unboxing video that they did a white on white look with a sheer polish or a jelly polish. I did one of those for you too. That was a really great idea she had. But I also did a bunch of other stuff that is my idea. I have some more stuff to say about this style. This particular plate really reminds me, I'm going to show you the rest of this in just a second, but I have to show you now that I'm onto the little animals made of different shapes and flowers, especially flowers. Some people would call these mosaic shapes because they're made up of other little things. There are things called photo mosaics online, and you can see those. You can Google those for inspiration if you want. That's really cool what people do with shapes, making out of other shapes. But my favorite thing that this particular plate reminded me is a watercolor artist, very famous, called Hiroki Takeda, sorry. And she makes watercolor paintings that take animals, well, that create animals out of flowers and other little nature motifs. So you can probably see how the snail and hedgehog from this month's plate really reminded me of this artist, and I wanted to give her a shout out because her art is beautiful. Just one more. I know these videos always run long because I like to share things with you, but I hope you don't mind. Look at that tiger, look at that beautiful art. So I hadn't seen these yet, not all of them. I remembered the giraffe off the top of my head. That's the only one. But I really want to show you this nail that I did that reminds me of one of those. I did paintbrush. They're called brush strokes. You know, when you look up, you can do them on a plate. There are plates that have brush strokes. You can play with your silicone mat or a tile or pieces of paper, and you can do little brush strokes and practice how yours look. And then of course, this is Copper Haired Girl by Hit the Bottle. I did it on the actual nail, and then I also did it on as the stamp. I really like that look, very subtle, but also very kind of artsy. When I was really little, I saw myself as a future elementary or high school, whatever, art teacher or music teacher, because they always get to dress so neat, you know. Anyway, we we move on. That's not what I ended up doing. Anyway, so I am considering nope, that's the wrong page of my notes. So I want to show you the rest of these little images. So here's some more patterns. I used 2 of these to make a French tip kind of image here. I don't know if you can see what I did. I had a really neat base polish that I got in the last polish pickup, and then I painted in, reverse stamped the trellis flowers and painted them, between them red before I stamped it on. Painting polish into the, what's the word? Into the shapes. So like, you know, you fill this in, I grabbed the wrong one to give you an example. But filling these things in before you stamp them is a really easy, fun way of getting a French tip or some kind of different shape. You don't have to always tape off your areas. You've seen me do that like in my reciprocal gradient video. I tape off areas a lot. By the way, if you're taping off areas, really make sure that that nail is dry. I mean, like, use quick dry nail top coat and then just really let it dry. Because if it's not totally cured, which is different than dry, if it's not totally cured, it will kind of peel up when you bring up your Scotch tape, or cello tape, as you would say if you speak British English. So we've got fun little tulips here in a cross kind of or an X kind of a formation. We've got the hedgehog. We've got some more shapes. If you look at the individual bits of these, just like in the Hiroki Takeda watercolors, these are all made up of little bits of plants and flowers. Really cute bee here. This butterfly is great. This would be a really fun way to paint different kind of shapes on your nail. I had a few different ideas with this great image, and you'll see those in my swatches. This moon is what inspired this particular look. I really like these. I hope you like them too. I hope they're not too screwed up. I tried to mattify them and they just didn't look right. So then you'll see I did the little flowers from the layering plate into the galaxy. So I hope you like that. Anyway, they weren't all from the layering plate, but I'll get to that. Here's a great floral motif heart. We've got these great vines or leaf things, or I'm having trouble with terminology. That happens to my brain. Sorry about that. But this one was a really simple graphic kind of manicure where I used kind of a chartreuse-ish color with teal to just do a really simple stamp. It was very quick and I really love it. I hope you like it too. So here's a fun moth and then another pattern. If you look at this flower, you'll see where I got some of these flowers in, there we go. That's one of them. I really like that flower. I put it in my galaxy. So for this particular shape, which I think of as a variation on a damask, even though it's made up of individual floral elements, so is damask if you look carefully. So that is right on theme. Here, I'm just going to pick this up, keep talking about it as I go. This is a back and forth kind of a day, not a one thing at a time kind of day. So from the layering elements plate, I did these for little ones, or if you are very mini and you have tiny nails, this sort of look would look great. Here is my floral element for Valentine's Day. This beautiful flaky red is by Graceful Polish. You know that I swatch for them sometimes. I did a tiny little bow on here from a different plate, also Maniology, but I don't recall exactly which one. It's one of the pink bow tie ones. Stay Weird or Teenage Daydream, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, but those plates are discontinued. But I did use this little bow. I should have used a bigger one. This doodle with the beautiful stag image and all the flowers, I did a double outline on this with like a metallic kind of a brown and then a darker brown over that. I like the way that turned out. That's on the yellow that is included in, that's probably why I got so frustrated with it, is I really did work with it as much as I could. But that's this yellow, this zinnia, I think. Is that the zinnia? Yep, it is. All right, so this one is a pond mani, even though it doesn't look it. It's a very sheer China glaze color. First thing I did is the border, that crisscross sort of look. I took that from, where did I take that from? I took that from here. And I took my little dotting tool and also Scotch tape. I just used different methods to clear these out, these flowers out, and just leave the grid work. And then I put that on the nail, painted a layer of pink over it, and then I did a billion of these tiny little flowers, which are from, where is this from? I want to show you where everything is. Oh, here's these flowers. Sorry if I made you dizzy. And I stole those. Another cool place to steal flowers from is this from MXM074. You'll see all of the different flowers that are in there. Yeah, there's some animals, and I love these owls. They're fun. This is maybe a chicken. I hope it's a chicken. I'm sure you'll all tell me if I'm wrong, because I'm very funny with my wrong answers on what plates are sometimes. Really love these leaf elements here. Those would be very fun. I did steal a couple of these. I personally call any 5 petaled flower a cinquefoil, because I did a lot of medieval and Renaissance recreation in my previous life. So they think of those as all cinquefoil. Cinquefoil is an actual flower, but if you hear me say cinquefoil, that's what I mean. It's just the five-petaled flower. Anyway, so in the layering part, this is a lot of fun. Great options from Maniology. They include 4 center flowers and then a bunch of leaf options. We've got the bigger leaves, and then if you look between these, we've got some berries and little maybe stamen images there. I really loved these. That was great. And I tried these out too. I did a couple of samples for you with these tiny, tiny images. The polish dries so fast, you gotta be rocket fast to get those on your nail. I wasn't about to put any sticky base coat on the paper to get them to stick, so I really tried very hard to get it fast. So I only did 3 shapes. For layering, it's really good to do the biggest shape, the one that establishes the shape first. So I did these bits in pink first, and then I did the leaves, and then I did the center flower. Same with this. Here's a cinquefoil. Again, just 5-petal flower. It's fun to do the center with the little dot in a different color if you want. You don't have to. All of this is, you know, your personal dream. You use your imagination. I really like this one too. I used, instead of using the elements that are kind of the way they're laid out, I did 2 different kinds of leaves. And then I did a periwinkle flower in the middle. I really like the way that turned out as well. The other good thing about these tiny, tiny shapes is, and you'll see my tiny nails here, I used those tiny shapes and those tiny flowers for little French tip elements for tiny nails. And they're exactly what I need to do a kind of a pampering manicure on a little one. So I don't know if you have kids or you hang out with kids sometimes, but they do like these little pampering sessions. So I also wanted to show you, I used this one. I really love this one. I used this one with this nail, where I did an ombre pink. I did the stamping, and then once that was dry and top coated, I did a couple of layers. I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't. But anyway, so I did some tape off so that I could do these different various colors. Now, one option that you have if you don't want to just tape off areas, in fact, it's more convenient if you don't. Sticky base coat is your friend, because you can just put the sticky base coat exactly where you want the image to be. I will do a video on this eventually. Let me know in the comments below if that sounds like a good idea. But NeVerMind sticky base coat is the one that I use, and you'll see I'm very quickly running out. But all you have to do, this is how I did this mani actually. So I didn't want any stamping on the moon or on the French tips here, right? So I just put the sticky base coat on the blue so that the galaxy sky bits would only stamp on the blue. I think it turned out really cool. That's my opinion though. For this next nail, I used a fairy by a different brand. This is something called double process stamping. Now it's different than double stamping. Double stamping is when you take the same stamp and you do it in one color, and then right over that, or just a tiny, tiny smidge away so that you get a kind of a shadow or a layering effect, you do the same stamp over it in a different color. Okay, that's double stamping. Double process stamping is, and Heidi mentioned this recently in the Maniology group, I've noticed that it goes through kind of a 3-year cycle. So 3 years ago I learned how to do this when people were making various videos about it. But it is a technique that I do forget sometimes. So this is from, all these little vines and flowers are from the Mani by Me plates for this month. They're from probably this big buffet image that I showed you here. Okay, so what you do is you pick up your image from the tiny plate, and then you real quick you pick up a bigger image on a different plate using the same stamper. And because of the way that stampers are layered, if you picture it this way, because this is the way it goes onto the nail, you put the tiny flowers in on first, so they're what face up. You put the fairy on last, so that's what's underneath the tiny flowers. You put that on your nail and boom. Now the big sad about this is that you can't do this with sticky base coat unless you paint out the, you know, shape of the stamp or whatever. Now you can do that. You can paint the sticky base coat on the image itself just where you want it to be, because you've got flowers all over here that you don't actually want to go down on the nail. I hope that makes sense. Please comment if it didn't. I can't really afford to talk about it much anymore. Do let me draw your attention to the fact that the included pink doesn't stamp great on black, and the yellow is acceptable. This isn't the level of a yellow on, say, a Mani by Me stamping polish that would look great over black, but it does work. Okay. Next nail, we've got these right here, and I did show you this image a little bit earlier. I painted a little bit out of the borders here, and I'm a little bit embarrassed about that, but I do like the kind of design placement. I did the same thing with this nail, but I used this heart kind of, you see this line? I did the same thing. I took this out with Scotch tape, and then I colored this in, and then I did this as a French tip. And then there's some gopher fur on my plate because I used really old poster tack for the blue to stick it on. Anyway, so here's the black and white damask. I did black and white, of course, but I also put a little bit of sparkly teal or turquoise right underneath that. And I really like that effect. Last little thumb swatch. I did a tone on tone kind of thing for the background with this image here. There's so many wonderful things about this image. This would look great as a kind of a half Mani too. Look at that. These are great. Anyway, so I did the tone on tone, and then I colored in the snail with, I did the little flowers in various colors, and then I did the shell in a color that's deeper but similar to the background, and then I did the snail in a buff. It's a buff. So I think that's it for these. Let me go through and see if I've missed anything about these other things. I showed you this. I showed you, I think, all of the swatches, but we'll see. I'm going to hold that in my other hand just in case. Here's a galaxy that I did. I know I still owe you guys a galaxy tutorial. I'm sorry. I will do it. Things keep flying into my head. Anyway, so the Kelly Marissa, we almost said bundle monster. The Kelly Marissa stamping plate that Maniology has with the galaxy stuff and the celestial components. I used little stars from there. These lines could be hand-drawn, but I used a celestial animals plate from Clear Jelly Stamper for these. And then over these little stars, I put tiny little cinquefoils that I had colored in. I really like this look. You can tell me what you think. I hope you do, in fact. So here's the white on white that Maniology inspired me to do. This is a jelly from, the white jelly is a Polar Bear, as in B-A-R-E. We really like puns in the nail polish biz or hobby. So this is Polar Bear. And then it is a regular white Maniology stamping polish on top. Really great look, perfect for summer. I really think everybody should get these plates. This is a box I think has a great variety of uses. So here we go with, come on, there we go. See my tulips on my plaid? This is one of the new plaid plates from Maniology. And then I colored in these tulips, and I kind of arranged them so that they'd be a bit of a French tip. I know I've gone kind of crazy on the French tips today. It's not on purpose. It's just this plate is really great for that kind of a thing. So let me see. There's also, you'll notice a lot of my swatches are brights. There's some LA Color brights for like $1 or $2 each that came out just now at Walmart. These are 2 layers, this particular swatch card. I might do a video on those or include them in a video. In your comments, let me know what you think. Anyway, so The next things that I have to do to show you are these jelly or pond manis. Well, this one is more like a traditional pond mani. And you can see the various elements that I use there. Really like that. And then the last but not least is a new polish I got from a polish pickup. I really wanted to do orange, purple, and red with gold. I don't know if you can see the gold in there. But I really liked that. That's one of my favorite color combinations for various times. My living room in one of my previous lives was done in these colors. Anyway, I think that's about it. Next videos, I have some Ali Express plates I'd like to review that are really cool and unique. I've been not doing those since I tend to find a lot of my subscribers on various brand pages, but let me know if you'd like to see that. I've been considering doing a weekly stream where you can see me do nail art and talk my way through it for you. I did put a video out on my community tab. I did a survey. I only got a couple of responses, so I would like to know. Let me know. I know I've asked you to tell me a lot in the comments. Hopefully you'll tell me what you can. I don't want to put too much on you. But do comment below if you think that would be fun. Also, there will be still photos on my Instagram. Anything I mention here as far as specific products will be in the description field in my video below this video. I don't remember exactly where they are, but it is, you click on description and boom, you can see everything I wanted you to see. If you liked or enjoyed this, please like it with a thumbs up, and also please subscribe. It not only helps my little channel grow, of course, you can then click the bell to be notified about my next videos. Make sure it's the solid bell so you even get the little things about the surveys and it's, you know, the other videos. It kind of does it random if you do just the bell outline. Speaking of next videos, I am still working on the second half of my new Creative Shop plates. I'm planning a tutorial. Other than that, it's a world of surprise. Sorry this video was so long. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you did. Have fun creating. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.